In the misty waters off the coast of ancient Norway, a group of fishermen set out on their perilous journey. The dawn's first light barely penetrated the thick fog, casting an eerie glow on the restless sea. The fishermen, seasoned and brave, navigated the ship through these treacherous waters. As the boat creaked and groaned against the relentless push of the waves, the fishermen scanned the horizon for any signs of danger. The ocean was unusually silent, and the only sounds were the gentle lapping of water against the hull and the distant cries of seabirds. Suddenly, a ripple disturbed the surface, far too large to be caused by any ordinary fish. The fishermen exchanged nervous glances, their hands tightening on their nets and harpoons. The ripple grew into waves, and from the depths, something began to emerge. Tentacles, enormous and sinuous, broke through the water's surface, each one thicker than a tree trunk and covered in suckers that reached toward the hull of their boat. The fishermen gasped in terror as the monstrous appendages writhed and coiled, their movements both mesmerizing and horrifying. This was no ordinary sea creature. This was a beast from their darkest legends. The Kraken had risen from the abyss, its presence turning their fishing expedition into a fight for survival. As the tentacles reached out, the men knew that this moment might be their last. Welcome to the mysteries of mythology, the Kraken. The Kraken, often depicted as a monstrous sea creature with massive tentacles capable of sinking ships, is widely misunderstood in popular culture. Many people mistakenly believe that the Kraken originates from Greek mythology, likely due to its frequent portrayal in movies. One significant source of this misconception is the 1981 film Clash of the Titans, starring Laurence Olivier,
Release the Kraken,
and its 2010 remake, starring the very shiny Liam Neeson.
Release the Kraken!
The Greeks did have their own tales of sea monsters, such as Scylla and Charybdis, which appeared in Homer's epic poems. However, none of these creatures resemble the Kraken. The closest Greek equivalent might be Cetus, a giant sea monster slain by Perseus to save Andromeda. This is the correct name for the creature in the movies. The actual tales of the Kraken come from somewhere far cooler than the warm waters of the Mediterranean coast, described as a giant squid or octopus lurking in the depths and capable of dragging entire ships and their crews to a watery grave. The true origins of the Kraken can be found in Scandinavian folklore, dating back to the early medieval period. Unlike the movies, the Kraken is a creature of the cold, northern seas, terrifying sailors with its immense size and destructive power. The earliest known mention of the Kraken comes from Norwegian history. In 1180, the Norwegian king Sverre Sigurdsson reportedly described a monstrous sea creature in the waters surrounding Norway, Iceland, and Greenland. These early accounts depicted the Kraken as a giant, tentacled beast, capable of dragging entire ships and their crews to the ocean's depths. One of the most detailed early descriptions of the Kraken is found in the Norwegian text Konungs Skuggsjar, or King's Mirror, written around 1250. The text describes a monstrous sea creature known as the Hafgufar, which was so large that it was often mistaken for an island. Sailors were warned that the creature could create massive whirlpools by simply submerging, pulling ships down to a watery doom. The Kraken also appears in various Icelandic sagas, collections of poems and prose used to share tales. One notable saga is the Över saga, where the hero encounters two enormous sea monsters, the Hafgufar and the Lyngbakka. Of the two, the Hafgufar was said to be the largest of the sea monsters, capable of devouring entire ships and creating whirlpools with its movements. In the 14th century, sailors reported sightings of massive tentacles washing ashore, leading to tales of gigantic sea beasts lurking beneath the waves. These stories were often accompanied by warnings to mariners to avoid certain areas where the Kraken was believed to reside. Modern scholars believe that this may have been a ploy to keep competition away from trade routes. One famous account comes from the 18th century, where a French naval officer reported a harrowing encounter with a giant squid off the coast of Angola. The officer described how the creature's immense tentacles wrapped around his ship, attempting to drag it under. The crew fought valiantly, hacking at the tentacles with axes until the beast finally retreated, leaving behind deep gouges in the ship's hull as evidence of the struggle. Similarly, fishermen off the coast of Newfoundland in the early 19th century told tales of their boats being attacked by enormous, tentacled monsters. These stories were often passed down through generations, becoming part of the local folklore and adding to the mystique of the Kraken. In the 18th century, the legend of the Kraken was popularized by the Danish-Norwegian bishop Erik Pontoppidan. In his work, The Natural History of Norway, 1752 and 1753, Pontoppidan described the Kraken in great detail, contributing significantly to its mythos. He claimed that the Kraken was not just a myth, but a real creature, a giant squid or octopus that lived in the waters off of Norway. Pontoppidan's descriptions included accounts of the Kraken's massive size, its ability to create whirlpools, and its capacity to drag ships down to the ocean floor. Pontoppidan's work was influential because it bridged the gap between myth and scientific curiosity. He compiled sailors' stories and anecdotes, presenting the Kraken as a plausible, albeit terrifying, denizen of the deep sea. The 19th century saw the Kraken myth gain further traction, particularly in literature. Alfred Tennyson's poem, The Kraken, 1830, vividly describes the creature as a slumbering leviathan in the deep ocean, destined to rise to the surface only at the end of days. Tennyson's portrayal added a layer of apocalyptic mystery to the Kraken's legend, linking it to themes of doom and destruction. The Kraken also began to feature prominently in adventure literature. Jules Verne's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, 1870, includes a memorable encounter with a group of giant squids. Verne's work and Herman Melville's Moby Dick, 1851, which features a giant squid encounter, cemented the Kraken's place in the pantheon of legendary sea creatures. The Kraken's influence extended into the 20th century, inspiring a range of authors including H.P. Lovecraft, who drew upon the idea of ancient slumbering sea monsters in his creation of Cthulhu. Lovecraft's work blends cosmic horror with the fear of the unknown, a theme central to the Kraken legend. Similarly, John Wyndham's The Kraken Wakes, 1953, uses the Kraken as a metaphor for extraterrestrial threats emerging from the ocean depths. In the 21st century, technological advancements have allowed scientists to learn more about deep-sea creatures, including the giant squid, offering insights into behaviors that may have inspired the Kraken myth. Recent discoveries include capturing giant squid footage by stealthy deep-sea cameras like the Medusa, which revealed active hunting behaviors, contradicting previous beliefs that these creatures were passive predators. Giant squids occasionally wash ashore, providing opportunities for scientific study and public fascination. These events often make headlines, keeping the legend of the Kraken alive. The creature's popular image has even been used in modern marketing such as Kraken-spiced rum, the Razer Kraken gaming headset, and the Kraken roller coaster at SeaWorld. This period has also seen an explosion of Kraken references in movies, television, and video games. From the monstrous sea creature in Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest,
The Kraken!
to countless video game bosses, the Kraken became a symbol of the unknown dangers lurking in the ocean's depths. Despite technological advancements, much of the ocean remains unexplored, feeding the enduring allure of sea monsters like the Kraken. The deep sea's vast, uncharted regions are fertile ground for myths and legends, representing humanity's fear of the unknown and the unseen dangers lurking beneath the surface. Scientific discoveries continue to shed light on real-life deep-sea creatures, such as giant squids and colossal squids, which share many characteristics with the mythical Kraken. These discoveries blur the line between myth and reality, reminding us that the ocean still holds many secrets waiting to be uncovered. What I find most interesting about mythologies of the deep is that the deep sea is still a mystery to us. The fact that we truly don't know what lurks at the bottom of the ocean is what makes tales of the Kraken and other sea monsters so compelling.